up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers, and KB watchers as well? How y'all doing? Welcome into episode 7 of the 2022 edition of the Young Guns podcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat that I see here. A diehard Giants fan, Logan, Jacob, amazing guy, C, MLX26. Remember, guys, as you're coming in, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Most importantly, hit that share button. Cletus in here as well. What's up, KB? How you doing?
What's up, man? Another dub we get to talk about, and then obviously we'll get into the topic of the week pretty much. And yeah, it's exciting. I'm doing good though, man.
You doing good?
Yeah.
How you feeling, man? With these Giants, without getting too much into it, 6-1, still underdogs in Seattle. They still look at us the same way they looked at us before we walked into Jacksonville. In fact, let's talk about that because that's not technically a topic, but just being regarded as underdogs still.
Where are we at as far as underdogs? Like two and a half.
It's literally the same thing. Yeah, it's like
it's
like 2.5. It's the same thing.
Call me crazy, but I like it. Like I don't want us to have the respect yet. Like I know what this team is capable of, obviously, and then obviously the lines don't really mean anything to us. It kind of just means like what the majority, I guess, people out there kind of give respect to the Giants. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I like being the underdog. I guess there will be a point if we just keep winning like this, especially games like against Washington. I feel like we'll be favored in, but. I don't know. I like it, man. I like having people doubt us. I love when the NFL Network and ESPN and stuff like that go through our games previews and be like, okay, list all the analysts and has the other team winning by a certain amount of points. When I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. It's happened all of our Super Bowl runs. This whole season they've been picking against us. So I'm okay with it. We're the true underdogs, man. Eagles what? 2017 they thought they were underdogs. That's stupid.
Sober party in here, Lamar Santos and Super Taj World as well. Speaking of Eagles, they just made a big trade. They got Robert Quinn from the Bears, which I was surprised by because I didn't know the Bears were necessarily selling. I think they probably just did that because they just don't see Robert Quinn in the future. I don't think
they're rebuilding, and so he's older. He's like
I don't think they're going to be trading anybody else away. Now, it is nice that Andrew Thomas's son is now closer to him down the turnpike in Philadelphia. Thomas, of course, 2 years in a row now shut down Robert Quinn, and he's going to have a chance to shut him down 2 more times this season.
That's why I was like, when I was addressing the trade,
I kind of laughed at it, but at the same time, even though I know Andrew Thomas can take care of Robert Quinn, I do recognize the fact that it is more power added to what is already a really good defensive line. So how you feel about it as a rival?
That's why I was like, oh, I know Andrew Thomas always dominates Robert Quinn anyway, so I'm not worried about Robert Quinn, but I still hate Howie Roseman because he always finds a way to pull away trades.
He makes good trades. I can't hate on him.
He always makes great trades. I don't know what he's throwing in there under the table to all these GMs that they're taking stupid deals, but he's doing. I honestly don't think this one's that much of a stupid deal because a 4th round pick is pretty high with what we've seen lately of certain like picks like Jonathan Hankins. I'm not saying Jonathan Hankins is at Robert Quinn's level, but Jonathan Hankins literally got traded, who's still a good defensive tackle, former New York Giant, got traded for a 6th round pick this year and a 7th next year. Like it's just, I don't know, trade pick values have gone down for I guess certain positions, but a 4th round pick for Robert Quinn I don't think is terrible. He is getting a little bit up there in age, and not really one of the more prominent names out there right now. But like I said, I don't really care about this from a Giants point of view, but just for the Eagles and their rotation,
not for the rest of our offensive line. Right. I was gonna say, yeah.
I would just say for the rest of the teams that the Eagles face. Like I know Robert Quinn may be a problem in rotation for the rest of the teams that Eagles face. Like I said, I'm okay with facing Robert Quinn twice a year. I'm okay with that. So, I just hate Howie Roseman. I hate him.
Shout out to Tudo for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it, man. He says, massive salute to Kush and KB and all the diehard Giants fans around the world. Slap all the Boyd's losers out the front door and all sea chickens. Oh, Seahawks. It took me a minute. I was like, what's the sea chicken? Oh, it's the Seahawk.
I love Tudo and his insults on certain teams.
It's very creative. I'll give you that. Shout out to Hirsch in the chat as well. Let me get a couple comments here from the people popping in. What up, Marjorie? Diehard Giants fan, Cletus, Jacob, Sober Party, CMLX. That's a camel.
Camel.
Is it just Camel? Oh, see,
Camel.
Camel. You're right. Amazing guy, Logan,
Wow.
Aj, Chris. Listen, at least I knew Yvette's was Steve. Okay.
Hey, shout
At
out
least
to
I
Kush
knew
for just
that.
putting your picture in there, man. Nobody does that anymore. Shout out for you for standing out, man. You're awesome.
Listen, it takes guts.
Amazing guy said Hankins is still good. I talked actually the guy I get my all 22 film from, Sanjeet, the football scout on YouTube. He's a Raiders fan. He actually was very saddened to see Jonathan Hankins go. He liked Jonathan Hankins a lot. He thought he was still performing at a high level. So I'm gonna trust what he says. And Jonathan Hankins is still good. He was great with us. He had a year in like 2014. He had
It was
7.5
14
sacks.
or 15, one out of the two,
Yeah,
right?
he had like 7.5 sacks. So yeah, Jonathan Hankins is still a good player, man. I like him.
That's enough of that. Let's get to the first talk before people start asking questions that are later topics. Is the Week 7 recap.
Steps up, fires it to the end zone. It's caught at the 1-yard line. Giants stand him up. He's not in, and the game's going to run out. The Giants stopped him at the 1-yard line.
What a play, man. The refs really tried so hard to give Jacksonville that game. I mean, 3 or 4 penalties on the final drive. A drive that was supposed to be 40 seconds long, no timeouts, turned into like 3 minutes long. And Jacksonville, like Trevor Lawrence made some good throws, but Jacksonville got down the field mostly because of 3 calls that resulted in like 30 to 40 yards from penalties, man. It was crazy. But the defense, Fabian Moreau needs a lot of credit. He got that tackle that stopped the momentum, and then the other guys came in. Go ahead, KB.
Yeah, man. Just talking about that play. Very obviously, everybody knows, very reminiscent of the 1999 Super Bowl of
Rams Titans.
The Rams Titans, of 1 yard short, and this one was even almost just maybe worse because I mean he was literally there. I mean, if it wasn't for Fabian Moreau, we would have lost the game. So shouts out to Fabian Moreau with that. But the rest of the game, honestly, to be honest with you, we really didn't really look that great on offense and defense. Well, obviously, besides the Darius Slayton touchdown, and then obviously Saquon Barkley picking it up towards the end. We really didn't look that great on film, offensive and defensively. We just found a way to make less mistakes than the Jacksonville Jaguars did. I mean, that's really what it really boiled down to. So this wasn't really
season.
Right. This wasn't really our worst game. The
Giants are one of the most like disciplined teams in the NFL, I'd say, or like right up there. I'd say, if not the most disciplined, one of the most disciplined. And we just make less mistakes than the other teams. And we make the other team make mistakes. Like our players, they're really good at somehow faking out. Like, for example, the Lions. Kayvon is good at getting false starts. And then our fans are, I'm not going to say they travel because we just so happen to play in Florida, and Florida has a lot of Giants fans. And they were very loud and very proud down there as well.
Yeah, Brian DABOLL even said that it felt like a home game, how loud they were towards the end of the game, especially. So, shouts out to them for that. But like I said, we just made less mistakes. I still think there's a lot of things we had to clean up on. Obviously, ETN had a day on us. Passing the ball, I feel like it was just we ran a lot of zone. We ran a lot of zone in this game, a lot of cover 4 even. I don't know if the Jaguars are known for airing it out deep, but we ran like we went away from what we usually do, and that really kind of bit us in the ass a little bit because the Jags threw for like 2. I think that was the most a quarterback has thrown on us yet, right? He threw for like 265. He threw for like almost 300 yards.
Did anybody throw more than that? Tannehill, Baker. I don't think Cooper threw more than that. Did we really hold down Aaron Rodgers and Lamar to less than 265?
He threw like 222 or something like that.
And then Lamar threw how much?
I don't think Lamar threw for that much either.
Maybe Trevor Lawrence was.
Oh, you know what? I think Lamar did throw a lot because they had a lot of yards of offense. They had a lot of yards of offense.
They had like close to 500 yards of offense, didn't they?
Lawrence did throw 300 yards. I thought he threw like 285. Am I wrong about that amazing guy? Maybe he threw 300. More than that.
Jesus, if it's 300, then yeah, I think he might have been. I thought it was
285, 265, something like that. But either way, I felt like a lot of it was because we got away from our game a little bit. We usually play a lot of man defense. We played a lot of zone and a lot of deep zones at that. And linebackers just couldn't. Oh, Jalen Smith, man. He has such a good debut for us, but man, he's trash now.
He came in the clutch in for that 3rd down stop and then 4th down stop back to back.
Yeah.
It's just that he needs to be used not all the time, and it's like it
Sparingly. He
needs to
needs
be
to be
used
used
in bunches.
sparingly. Yeah.
Yeah, like we clearly have a need at linebacker, but at the same time, Wink doesn't use linebackers that much. He uses
I know.
safeties, so that's just like a weakness of his defense. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
some teams can't exploit it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't have great linebackers to stop the run, but it's not like our safety is going to do any better stopping the run either. So it's kind of like pick your poison sort of thing. But yeah, we won the game, right? We won the game. Obviously, if who was the receiver there?
Kirk.
If Christian Kirk, actually reached over and had that touchdown, this would be a totally different game. We'll be talking about everything they did wrong, but I don't really want to gripe on that too much. We won, so
Yeah.
on to the next one. We're 6-1 headed to Seattle.
I mean, all the bad things you just pointed out is probably exactly why we're still underdogs going into Seattle. We're a team that the main thing we do is we make less mistakes than the other team, and of course, the defense is lights out in the fourth quarter, and the offense just does just enough in the fourth quarter. We're definitely one of the best second half teams in the league, but I gotta say we're probably the best fourth quarter teams in the league. I think we're a plus 20 or a plus 20 something in the fourth quarter, which is
26
crazy to think
right
about.
now.
Plus 26 in the fourth quarter. That is, I don't think there's another team in the league that is scoring that much and then holding down their opponents that much in the fourth quarter. So it's like that's where our bread and butter is. But yeah, like you said, there's so many other things on this team that can be exploited, and obviously a lot of that is because we don't have much talent outside of a handful of starters. We obviously got some depth problems. I saw somebody here said they want to see more Timon Fox, so it's Hirsch for real. Yeah, Timon Fox was in at edge rusher at that last play. What do you think? Like, he was in quite a bit this game, I noticed.
I think they trust him a lot. I think they do trust him a lot. And, he lays the boom, man. Every time he does make a tackle, he's in there. You know what I mean? Like, we even seen that in that preseason game where he, made that last play to help win the game or whatever. But he lays the boom out there. He's the only undrafted free agent that we kept, and he's actually good depth for us. I'm happy that we have him. He's out there more than Quincy Roche is, and I haven't seen much of any Quincy Roche this game. So I see him on the field, but I haven't really seen a play made from him. So
I guess, listen, and this coaching staff is all about earning your reps. I guess he just hasn't earned his reps, bro.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. Quick note, and we're talking about edge rushers right now. Kayvon Thibodeau, Justin Pennick, Justin Pennick, of Talking Giants. I was watching a clip that he's put, and I completely agree with him. This man he's gonna take off one of these games, bro. This man, watching Kayvon Thibodeau, bro,
it's not even a conversation to be had. It's just a fact. He continuously gets held every single game and continuously gets choked every single game. The refs need to call one of these at one time.
Bro,
and when they start calling it, bro, when they start calling these holds and those offensive linemen know that the refs are looking at them, because right now the refs are out there with 2 blindfolds on. Once they start calling that, he's going to start racking up a whole bunch of sacks because they know they can't hold him to stop him from getting
Bro,
QB.
That combo of speed and power that he has, like that relentless sort of pressure that he has, that high motor that we've seen him have in college, like it's there. And you could see that every single play, he's always obviously it won't show up on the stat sheet. On the advanced stat sheet, it is like the pressures. Like you could see that he's the quarterbacks are watching this kid from the corner of their eyes. Like they know he's coming. So I just love that we have that sort of presence on the edge. Don't get me wrong. We love Jahad Ward, what he's been doing. O'Shane Zimenez.
And we're going to need to rely on them since a lot more since Aziz is out for at least another 4 weeks. So and they're doing a good job.
But they don't have that speed. Right. They don't have that speed factor that Kayvon has to get there as soon as the ball snapped and pressure the quarterback. Now, eventually you get guys that get there like Dexter Lawrence, who's been playing great and shouldn't be our sack leader this year.
He shouldn't be our sack leader right now.
But he is, so we appreciate that of him. But Kayvon Thibodeau is that presence that we needed, that speed that we needed on the edge. And
power, like you said,
taking over. And power. Yeah, he's gonna have a like Justin said.
I want it to be as soon as possible because I agree with that.
It's gonna happen, dude.
Man. The zebras, the black and white stripes, the refs, every single game they get on my nerves, man. Because we get Dexter Lawrence barely pulls on Trevor Lawrence's jersey, and it's a roughing the passer. But we can't get a holding call for our edge rushers that are being choked around the neck.
Almost fell out, bro, and we don't even get a flag.
Daniel Bellinger got punched in the face during the game. He's out with a fractured eye socket. He has to get surgery. He was bleeding all over his jersey. We don't get a flag. Like, what other team do the refs hate more than the Giants, bro? A dude is bleeding over his jersey and there's no flag.
Can you believe that? I've seen you had a couple altercations with them as well. Some Jags fans on Twitter really had the balls to say that the refs were against them.
The Jags fans gotta be delusional, man. I don't know what to say.
The refs were against them. Maybe you had some things that go our way, some small petty stuff. You had someone that almost lost their eye, and there wasn't even any repercussions for it.
Whether it was intentional or not, all right? Your hand shouldn't be in the man's eye.
Right.
That's a flag.
Like, and on top of that was a guy I loved. Now I dislike heavily, Devin Lloyd. You know, screw you. Okay, now I got two people on my hit list. That is Thaddeus Moss, and that is Devin Lloyd. So trying to mess with two of our rookies, Kayvon Thibodeau and Daniel Bellinger. They're now both on my hit list in the Minecraft game.
And real quick, diehard Giants fan asked earlier, we could answer this before we move on to the next topic. Do you think Evan Neal makes it back before the Dallas rematch? I think the Dallas rematch is right around where he's projected, because it's 4 weeks, right? And Dallas is like around 4 weeks from now. So that's right around where he's projected to be back. You guys know me. As much as we need Evan Neal, and we'll get that actually the offensive line is a topic we'll talk about later on. I'm prioritizing his health above everything, just like I did with Kayvon. And it's the same mindset I got with Azeez right now. If they need to take longer to come back, take longer to come back and come back at 100%.
Yeah, because now we're talking legitimate playoff run. So we're not talking about like, you know, developing these rookies. Like we actually need them healthy for the tail end of the season.
But let's get to the next topic, KB. It's one that a lot of people definitely going to want to talk about.
Fires one deep down the right side. He's got a receiver leaping, trying, made for it, and it's caught for the touchdown.
It's the speech at the end, and I want to, before I even talk about his play, I first want us to talk about, this isn't the first year, but like every single year, the players in the locker room have always believed in Daniel.
They love him. Bro, they love him.
Especially the actual face of the franchise. We all know the face of the franchise is Saquon Barkley. Since this man was drafted, since Daniel Jones was drafted, Saquon has always had his back. And we know that the players, they've always had his back as well. And now it's obvious that it's not just because the brotherhood that's built on a team in a locker room. You guys see it there. Like, they really do love this kid. They completely believe in him. If you want to talk about that first before getting to the actual question that's on the screen right now.
Yeah, they love Daniel Jones, man. Like I even said it before. You know, when we talk about Kenny Golladay, you know, you almost forget that he's still on the team. But Kenny Golladay loves Daniel. Like they're boys. Like Daniel just gets along with everybody. He's obviously a leader, and he shows it by example. We should be used to this, that you don't need to be vocal to be a leader. Eli was never vocal, you know, as a leader, but he always just went out there and proved it because he was tough. And Daniel Jones is definitely a leader, and you know, all the players love him and they always defend him. Him and Saquon also have a good relationship as well. So yeah.
So I'm gonna highlight a couple of these comments, and you could get right into the actual question if you want to, man.
Yeah, as far as earning himself a second contract, man, he got me believing again. He got me believing again, because honestly, you know, somebody, I think it was Bad Dog, who put it on Twitter. Obviously, Jalen Hurts has more, like 500 more yards than Daniel Jones, but they're like, the rest of their stats are pretty much similar to each other. Like both 6 passing.
I will say, I hate saying to be fair because he's an Eagles player. But to be fair, Jalen Hurts did it, I think, in one less game because he had the bye, and he does have more touchdowns.
Right.
But also, to be fair to Daniel, which I'm sure you're going to get into, the team around Jalen versus the team around Daniel.
That's what I was going to get into, is like Daniel Jones is doing similar, not the same, but similar with a lot less. Let's just be real, a lot less. Devontae Smith and AJ Brown are both probably ranked top 15 wide receivers in the NFL, and I don't think the Giants even have a top 30 wide receiver right now. So let's be real.
Do we have a top 40, bro?
Right? Like, we love ourselves some Wan'Dale Robinson, but let's be real here, okay? Daniel Jones is definitely earning himself a say. Like, I don't see forget about like play on the field, because that's there, obviously. We got to talk about culture and building that locker room up. This place will probably be demoralized if they see Daniel Jones go. Honestly, Daniel Jones is a big part of us winning. He's not the only reason. He's not, you know, the reason. He's a reason, and he is a big reason. Let's be real. Like, we wouldn't be where we are right now without Daniel Jones. Obviously,
Baby,
Saquon
can I just
too,
ask
but
you a favor real quick? Do you have your
yeah,
phone on you anywhere close to you?
yeah.
Because I don't have mine. Can you just make a real quick note? The same point you just said. If he's gone, the team will be demoralized. Because I want to come back to that towards the end of
Okay.
this topic, and I know I'm gonna forget. And
Yeah.
real quick, Marjorie, shout out to Marjorie with the Marge bomb. Please put a bomb emoji in the chat. She says Mississippi State wide receiver Mekhi Polk had a special season, 105 catches, MSU single season record, 1,046 yards, also a record, and 9 touchdowns, 4th best in the NFC. He's 21 and sitting on our practice squad. Marjorie, I'm gonna ask something very similar of you. What I just did with KB. We're gonna talk about the wide receivers soon in the upcoming topic. Please keep that that same thing you just put. When we get to that, make sure you put it back in the chat just to remind me to talk about Mekhi Polk. But go back to Daniel Jones. Go ahead, KB. The
Yeah, as
moralize
far
you
as
were on.
I as far as like building a team, I don't really want to build a winning team without Daniel Jones. Like that's weird for me to say, but I feel like we've gone on this journey together. It would be kind of be messed up if we let go of Daniel Jones and drop some quarterback in here and say, all right, the stuff that Daniel Jones helped build, we're gonna now entrust another quarterback for. I don't think Daniel Jones has also done. We talked about this at the beginning of the season, where like we're in this spot with Daniel Jones where he's not bad enough to just let go of, but he's not good enough to keep. You know what I mean? But I think right now
Just look
he's
at this real
playing.
quick. And
I
shout out
heard
to
our
SAQUON
second
in the chat.
wideout is ranked 92. That's David Sills. That's David Sills, isn't it?
I don't know,
number two,
man. I
our
don't
number
even
2,
know.
David
Who is
Sills,
considered our number 2, bro?
92nd. Can you give me a top 60 receiver? Just give me a top 60. Let me see what Daniel Jones can do with that. But who the hell outside my house? But as far as like I said, Daniel Jones hasn't done anything to get him booted, and he's definitely made a case for him to stay. Like we talked about this in the beginning of the season. Will Daniel Jones impress us to the point where he stays? And obviously the numbers aren't where we want it to be. Like we set like unrealistic numbers in the beginning of the season. Like he has to throw
winning
yards, 35 touchdowns, but we're winning, and we're winning in a huge part of it. Like it's not like he's sitting aside throwing big dunks.
I can't believe that some of the media is still saying that we're winning in spite of him, which is just like that's not true. You want to see a team that's winning in spite of their quarterback? Look at the Jets with Zach Wilson right now.
Right.
Zach Wilson looks terrible, and they're doing everything in their power to hide him on the team. We're not doing that with DJ. Like we're giving him some legit responsibility, and he's leading us in the fourth quarter.
Can we get rid of the whole narrative of him turning over the football? Because
that should have been got rid of like 2 years ago.
Exactly. Thank you. I was just about to say that because or Dan Orlovsky, who honestly has defended Daniel Jones in a lot of things. I'm very surprised that he went off of this. And now Giants fans are coming at his throat, even though they defended Daniel Jones. He defended Daniel Jones when Giants fans didn't want to. But now, he's saying that, now it just looks better. Daniel Jones looks better because he's not turning over the football. Okay, did he turn over the football a lot last year? He didn't. Like, I feel like that's such a thing that we have to throw in the past. Like, Danny donations thing is just not a thing anymore. Like, we saw little parts of it last year, but it still wasn't a big thing. It was his rookie and sophomore season that was really pretty bad. Other than that, he's had 3 turnovers. 3. The whole entire season. We've played 7 games. Like, Patrick Mahomes has thrown more interceptions. He's thrown 2 interceptions, and he has one fumble lost, and that was week 1. So you're talking about 6 weeks. And then when did we have that last interception? That first of all, that other interception, forget about that thing. Okay, yeah, he threw 1 interception and 1 fumble, and that was both in week 1. Both in week 1. We went through 6 other games with him not turning over the football once. That is winning football. And with his decision making, I said this on Twitter because Diggy, you talked about it. If you look at Daniel Jones, just watching him, but I was watching him on film, bro, he looks like a whole different person. Like he looks like a whole different quarterback. He's stepping up in the pocket. He has pocket presence. He's moving around.
He looks more comfortable in the pocket.
That's the comfortability. And
confidence as well.
He's moving around. That confidence is showing with him moving around. Like he's jumping around with his feet, utilizing his feet, using his footwork, and securing the football, not like letting, flailing his arm around everywhere. When he wants to make a throw, that's when he cocks it back and throws. But other than that, he's extremely safe with the football. I knew you were going to say something about
I didn't say anything. Continue your point.
I knew you were going to say his decision making is on point. Like we haven't had a really bad like decision from Daniel Jones in a while. On top of that, we're seeing him throw fade routes accurately, even though they're not being complete
That
because we don't have
Slayton
a guy.
one, bro. That's why I was so excited.
The fade routes,
that
and on top of that,
throw,
he threw a back shoulder pass. Slayton dropped it, but it was right there in this game. He threw a back shoulder. It was beautiful. We never seen that from Daniel Jones, and he threw it, and it would have been complete if Slayton would have caught it, but. He's making throws he never makes. He's always been like pretty decently accurate with the football, but he's making way better decisions. He's stepping up in the pocket when it breaks down to give him more time to make a throw. He's not getting lost in reading the field because you would see him sometimes like stare down a receiver because he's only comfortable with throwing at that receiver.
And guess what? The only time you saw him do that this season was once again week 1.
Yeah,
with Saquon the interception.
That
was the only time really.
He's looking around, going through his progressions, and whenever he needs to dump it off, he dumps it off, and he's taking shots. You see Wan'Dale Robinson, 5'8". He's 5'8", and DJ putting the ball in position for only Wan'Dale to catch it as a 5'8" receiver. In tight coverage, Darius Williams was on him for 2 of those catches that he had, and it wound up being complete because he just put it at the right place. So
I just want to say, we're talking about Daniel Jones saving his job. KB just saved his job as my co-host there just now, bro. With all that film talking about all the technicalities and the greaseboard stuff with DJ.
Yes,
I couldn't have put anything better myself. Like, but before I go with my spiel, yeah, go ahead and answer the question.
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe.
Obviously, when I say yes, people are going to be like, oh my God, so you're going to give him $50 million? First of all, guys, only the elites are making $50 million. I don't think anybody like average is making $50 million.
Is he getting another year?
Yes, I think so.
For sure.
I think even if we had the balls, because we're not going to be even close to like top 10 range this season, obviously, even if we won no games for the rest of the season, we still wouldn't be in top 10 range. Like 6 and 11. Is it 6 and 11? Yeah, 6 and 11 ain't going to do us much. Probably like right outside of top 10 range. So even if we had the balls to trade up and pull a Chiefs and go get a quarterback, I don't think that takes away from Daniel Jones still staying on the roster. Daddy Daboll cooked him for that pick and said,
"This is true.
Bro,
this is true.
Bro,
this is true." What did I say? The only time this season he stared down a receiver, the only time this season he looked like Daniel Jones of old was that interception that was intended for Saquon, where he just stared down Saquon Barkley all the way. No one's joking. Daboll got in that man, bro. He tore him a new one, bro. And ever since he hasn't been making mistakes like that.
Golly, careful with your choice of words, man. But Daboll definitely talk some sense into. Just had to look at DJ. Just had to look at him, and from that moment on, DJ really hasn't made a mistake since. Let's be real. Like there's only been a handful of plays. There's only been a handful of plays that I could recount that I was like, DJ, why'd you throw that? Like even with the receivers that he has, like I don't even know how Daniel Jones moves down the field with the receivers that he has. Like they don't get open, bro. I'm telling you, you got to watch all 22 because they don't get open. Like they're not fast enough.
This was something from last year too. Like this was a problem last year that like we were all questioning. We're like, is the offense trash? Is DJ not good, or are they not getting open?
Let me tell you, thank God they put Darius Slayton back because although he's not great, he still creates separation. Thank God they put him back, and thank God Wan'Dale is in the roster.
Is the second best wide receiver healthy right now. The best is Wan'Dale in my opinion. Richie James has been doing some good things for us, but yeah.
If those two receivers weren't around and we had Richie James is okay. Let's not Richie James, he's all right. David Sills and Marcus freaking Johnson.
Don't get too much into the wide receivers, man. That's a whole topic.
Okay, the next Preston Parker. But if we just had those guys on the field, my God, if Daniel Jones threw for 150 yards, I would be thoroughly impressed. Okay, so I mean,
let me give my spiel. So
go ahead.
I'm gonna go with a maybe. I gotta admit, he's definitely winning me back a little bit. I still have to see some more, and I know that's gonna anger some Giants fans. It's not much more that I want to see. Just some more, bro.
But remember when we said if we make the playoffs, I'll let you finish. Remember when we said if we make the playoffs, we're like DJ probably has to stay. But if we make the playoffs are like right around, bro. We're pretty much guaranteed.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. We're pretty much guaranteed for the playoffs because the NFC.
I just knocked on wood. Did you knock on wood? There you go.
listen, despite if we ever have like a crazy collapse, like if we lose every single, that's the thing though. We have to lose every single game for us to not to make the playoffs. The NFC
but let
sucks
me
this
finish.
year,
Let me
this
finish.
year.
Let me finish though. So it's like all I'm asking for to see from DJ is to just literally continue what he's doing and just get us. I'm telling y'all right now, if we're sitting at 9-1, like after the Lions game, bro, and DJ is continuing to improve because each week he's getting better with passing the football, in my opinion, then yes, he's back. And well, right now I think he's gonna be back. Shout out to Rob. He popped on the call-in show last night and he proposed something that I didn't even think about, which was the transition tag. I saw the chat mention it a few times. Instead of franchise tag, we could transition tag him, which is kind of like you can match an offer that another team makes. And believe it or not, I'm starting to believe that there are going to be teams offering Daniel Jones a contract in this offseason because
I think the Saints.
There's a couple more teams in the NFL that are quarterback needed and people realize. And you just brought up one of them, the Saints. It's not a team that comes immediately to mind when you think quarterback needy, but they could be one. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I think the Saints are
like there's gonna be some teams that might throw this man a contract, and it's like I'm not comfortable giving him a big bag. I'm very comfortable giving him like a 2-3 year.
I think he knows that. I think he knows that. Teams know that. He knows that. We know that. He's not going to get a $40 million contract.
At the same time, and this is not even a knock on his character, it's for his best interest to sign with the person that gives him the most. Like, that's just facts.
Oh, it's in his best interest for sure. And whatever possibly gives him the best chance of succeeding as well. The Giants may not even be that because obviously we still have wide receiver issues, but we have to fix that first to entice him to come back. Because, like I said, I brought up the Saints because I feel like the Saints aren't. First of all, they have cap issues. They can't afford a bigger quarterback. A bigger name quarterback to throw money at. But they have a team around that can win. Like, I honestly think the Saints are a quarterback away from competing, like in a possibly like playoffs, and make it through the playoffs because they just have a team. And you look at their wide receiving core. If you're Daniel Jones and you say, "Damn, I got the Saints or the Giants," where are you going? I'm going to the Saints. They got Chris Olave, young wide receiver who creates a lot of separation, making a lot of plays. Michael Thomas, that when he's healthy is great. They have some depth there with Marcus Callaway or Marquise Callaway. So they got a lot. Alvin Kamara in the backfield, a good offensive line. Like you got everything.
But that's where I'm at with DJ, where it's like I still definitely don't see enough to give him one of those huge quarterback extensions.
Right.
But transition tag, you got it. You've 100% earned it. A 2-3 year deal on a reasonable price, whatever that may be, you've earned it. But it's just that it remains. He's earning it. We don't know what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, we don't know what they're gonna do. Obviously, we're hinging on what you said earlier, which I wanted to bring back up. The demoralizing factor, we can definitely hinge on that, but we shouldn't completely throw it out the window. A lot of people bring up the Bills, with Holiday once playoffs with Tyrod. They still traded up, got Josh Allen. I feel like people are forgetting another brain trust that we have on this team, Mike Kafka from the Chiefs. They were a perennial playoff team with Alex Smith. They were picking 27th in the draft, and they traded all the way up to 10 to get Mahomes. So it's like, don't throw it completely out the window. It just comes down to your trust in the brain trust we got right now, and I do as well. So we'll see what happens.
Let me tell you something. I don't think Daboll really had a thought of keeping DJ around, but I think ever since this season and up to this point, I feel like he's like, damn, DJ may be a guy.
I gotta think that not only the fact that we're winning so much, but also the improvement from Daniel, it has to change their man somehow. But we already spent enough time on this topic. Let's get to the next one.
Saquon makes the first man miss, makes the second man miss. Saquon to the 15. Saquon inside the 15 and tackled at the Bulls right. He's going to run. Jones to the 40, 45. Lowers his shoulder, still on his feet.
So the last clip cut off a little bit. Obviously, Daniel Jones is part of this. The Giants have a top 5 rushing attack, if not top 1 in the NFL. For the first time since I think it was 2008 or 2009 against Jacksonville here, we had a game with 2 100-yard rushers, Saquon Barkley with 110, Daniel Jones with 107. It still amazes me that teams are allowing him to rush on them like they are. Like, he clearly has rushing ability, but like a lot of times I'm like, these defenses should be prepared by now to know that he's coming off the bootleg and he's going to kill you for like 20 yards rushing. It's kind of crazy. But let's start off with Saquon, since we just had a complete spiel about Daniel with this rushing attack, man. And you could use this as another stand-in for the Saquon MVP agenda if you want to as well, but go ahead.
As far their rushing attack is very surprising, to be honest with you. Very
Is
surprising.
it though? Because during preseason, I feel like we were all saying the best thing about this offense is the
Oh
rush.
no! I knew that our identity. I was one of the ones that said our identity was going to be the run game. I knew that for sure, especially DJ and Saquon being a part of that. I didn't know it was going to be this good. I didn't know we were going to be top 5, and at one point we were the best rushing team in football. Like I didn't think we were going to be that good, especially with us kind of being a one-dimensional team because we don't have weapons to throw downfield, and we don't throw down the field that often. I'm really surprised that we're doing what we're doing in the run game. That just speaks to the brain power, I guess, of Brian Daboll and Mike Kafka, able to still create ways to move the ball downfield, knowing, defenses are stacking the boxes against Saquon Barkley. They're utilizing play action well, the bootleg and stuff like that to move down the field through the air, and they're just doing a great job at that. Saquon is definitely in the conversation as probably the only non-quarterback in the MVP conversation right now. I don't really think anybody else is really taking that step forward of being that. And DJ is doing a great job in the run game as well. Had 100 yards himself, I think like 107 or something like that against the who the hell did we face? The Jags. I just lost my train of thought right there.
What?
I lost my train of thought. But yeah, and then Saquon Barkley had his own 100 as well, and we're consistently running for like freaking 180 to 200 yards on teams. And this game was like 236 or something like
And
that.
I still think we're not even tapping into the full potential with Matt Breida in the backfield. Like
And Matt
think
Breida
we
puts
need
in
to
some
use
work
this man
too.
more.
Matt Breida puts in some work too, and a big part of this is just us utilizing DJ the right way, right? Because although he can stick in the pocket and throw, you can definitely put him, on bootlegs and get him some yards that way as well and running the ball. And a big thing as well is DJ. We talked about it earlier that he's just more comfortable of stepping up in the pocket. That's something that part of the reason why he was sacked so many times, and not just the offensive line, but him just not moving in the pocket, being a statue, because being a deer in headlights and not having the confidence to move around. Now he's moving around when things are not open. He's taking off and running. We saw a little bit of that early on in his career, very like a bunch of spots, but now we're seeing him consistently do it. When he sees nothing open, he's tucking and running. He's not thinking about it too much. He's not, just staying there like a statue, taking the sack. He's just going to tuck it and run it. And we saw a lot of that against the Jags because there was a lot of times where guys were not open. He said, screw it, I'm running. And it resulted in over 100 yards. So he can get it done on the ground as much through the air.
No, I agree with you on that as well. To get back to Saquon Barkley a little bit, currently second in the NFL in rushing yards. He's behind Chubb, I think, by like 30 or 20 yards, not too much. First in the NFL in scrimmage yards with over like 900 already.
That's
like
crazy.
he has, like he's on pace basically for 2,100 scrimmage yards. And I think, Saquon has yet, since the Chicago game was really his only big game. And that's the crazy part about this. He's only had one quote unquote big game so far this year where he had that 164. No, was it 184 or 164 against Chicago?
Chicago, he had a lot, but remember, Tennessee, he had 164.
164. Okay, so two big games. I'm a little wrong, but I feel
games.
like he has, like, we know his potential. I feel like he has in him, like, at least 5 more of those big games
I hope
in the season, which could, like, boost that 2,100 scrimmage yards up to God knows what. And it shouldn't go unnoticed. And it's definitely not the work that Saquon Barkley is doing now that he's healthy. And I will say this, the NFL, for as much as they hate the Giants, they do love Saquon Barkley. He's a very liked guy around the NFL in general. And I'm happy for that, at least for one of our players. And yeah, like you said, with DJ, Daniel Jones, no joke, factually speaking, is like a top 5 rushing quarterback in the NFL. Like maybe even top 3. Lamar,
he is
Allen,
a top 3.
Jones, like, right? And I'm not even talking production. I'm talking just ability. Lamar, Jones, Allen, right? Like, is that not the top 3 rushing quarterbacks in the NFL?
I don't think you can come up with any other names because everybody says, I don't know why everybody says Mahomes because he really doesn't run a lot.
Mahomes has the ability, but he
has the ability, but he doesn't do it. And he's not fast.
Not
Let's
really
be real.
part of the
Mahomes isn't really
offense.
not that fast. But and Josh Allen isn't fast, but he's just an absolute monster of a human being. So yeah, you're right. I don't really think there's anybody else that really runs it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
And I mean, all right, bro. What does Saquon have to do to win MVP? Tell me. If the Giants somehow, right? Hear me out. Somehow go 13-4. right? Which is either going to be A, the second best record in the league, or B, the best record in the league,
Right now
depending
we
on
have
how
the
the
second
Eagles do down the
best.
stretch,
So.
right? Depending on how the Eagles do down the stretch. 13-4. Saquon has like 2,200 scrimmage yards. How does he not get MVP votes, bro?
It's hard because I go back to that Christian McCaffrey year in 2019.
Were the Panthers one of the best teams in the NFL that year? I think not.
Right, but I don't think that mattered. I think Adrian Peterson won the MVP and Vikings were
But he
still
took the
trash,
Vikings to the playoffs, though.
Oh, they were in the playoffs?
He literally ran the Vikings into the playoffs, yeah.
So I guess that would help out a lot, but Christian McCaffrey had some crazy stats.
I know what season you're talking about. He had a crazy. It was either 17 or 19, either his rookie year or his third year.
No, it wasn't his rookie year. It was like his third. I think it was 19.
So it was 19, but
Bro,
like the Panthers were not a good team that year.
But he was 1,000 and 1,000. I think he was over 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000 rushing and like 1,000
receiving. Bro, that's nasty.
But like, but they weren't a good team though. Like that matters obviously with MVP votes.
I agree, and especially if I imagine that Christian McCaffrey was also the scrimmage yard leader as well. So we'll see what happens. I think obviously us making the playoffs and with the record that we have is going to have some implications on that. But I would just hope that his numbers stay consistent to the point where, it can match Christian McCaffrey's. Because I honestly thought Christian McCaffrey, besides him being in Carolina, he probably should have got it.
Statistically, no, that year, don't forget, that was Derrick Henry's breakout year too. So you had two great running backs that year.
Yeah. Oh, King Henry, yep.
But to move off this topic, let's get to the next one. And shout out to people in chat. He says Saquon has to deliver 3K all-purpose. That's a lot you're asking for, bro. You're asking for a lot.
Adrian Peterson had 297 rush yards or scrimmage yards?
He had 297 rushing yards. Adrian Peterson rushed for over 2,000 yards that year.
That's why
along with rushing them to the playoffs is why he got MVP, bro.
Damn, that's.
I want to say he's the last 2,000-yard rusher, isn't he?
He is. No, Derrick Henry was.
Oh yeah, and that's another reason why I was like, when Derrick Henry did it, I was like, how do you not consider him? And he did get MVP votes that year. I think they just
remember he didn't have receiving
to Aaron
yards,
Rodgers, bro, because Aaron Rodgers
yards.
is a fraud. But we're not going to talk about that.
He didn't have receiving yards though. Derrick Henry was just rushing yards because he really didn't do much in the air. But
let's get to the next topic, which is the offensive line and specifically that coach.
Jones keeps it, pushes into the line. No signal yet.
He's in the end zone.
No signal yet.
He's getting up in the end.
So, Bobby Johnson, we come in here week in, week out, my channel, your channel, and we give, as it is due, credit to head coach Brian Daboll, credit to defensive coordinator Dominic Martindale, credit to Mike Kafka, the offensive coordinator, and one person that hasn't really gotten much credit this year but deserves so much of it is offensive line coach Bobby Johnson. They started out a bit rough, but after that rough start, I want to say after like the first 2-3 weeks, they've been really solid. They've been amazing in run blocking. And they've been solid in pass protection, which is honestly all you can ask for. And this is a guy that coming in, that we as Giants fans, let's all admit it, we had less faith in him than we did with Mark Colombo in 2019 or 2020 and with Rob Sale in 2021. He's doing a way better job than that. And then a couple days ago, we see Evan Neal, the rookie right tackle, obviously the second best offensive lineman, go down. Tyree Phillips comes in. We see Ben Bredesen, a guy that's been steadily improving under Bobby Johnson, go down. Josh Azudu comes in. Both of them performed way above my expectations and were extremely serviceable. I didn't have to call Tyree Phillips' name once when he came in the game. Bobby Johnson deserves his flowers. He's doing an amazing job with this line right now and the backups.
Yeah, especially when Josh Azudu came in, because watching him, a lot of people are like, Twitter's going off, like all the film watchers are going off about it. Josh Azudu in pass protection was very good, like better than Ben Bredesen. And, obviously we saw a little bit of Josh Azudu when early on in the season, and him pass protecting was terrible. It was bad. But it seemed like he's developed and he's developing. I'm not going to say that he's just great all of a sudden, but he had a very good showing out against the Jags. And then we talked about Tyree Phillips as well. Like you said, we barely had to mention his name. Like they're doing a great job there. Also, we've seen a lot of formations where they brought in an extra offensive lineman to fill in like as a tight end, but they brought an extra offensive lineman to help run the ball, and that was Devery Hamilton, and he was great at run blocking as well. And obviously we know Andrew Thomas is great, and he's been doing a good job. Just the offensive line has been doing good, man. They've been pretty damn solid. I think that's the best word for them, because they're not world beating at all, but they're solid. They're a lot better than what we're used to, and it's paying off heavily with our production on field, especially running the ball, because like I said, us being a top 5 running team is just crazy to me. And a big part of that is offensive line. So got to give our hats off to Bobby Johnson, man. He's doing a great job with the guys over there.
Tyree Phillips, I got to say, can I be honest with y'all? I did not know this man existed.
I only knew he existed.
Not know he existed, bro.
I only knew he existed because Talking Giants talks about revenge games, and he used to be a Baltimore Raven, and they talked about him. But that's the only reason why I knew of him. Watching him, I didn't he didn't cause anything to happen where DJ was in trouble, but actually I think he allowed 1 sack. I could be wrong about that. But as far as run blocking goes, he was pretty damn decent, sealing off the edge for SAQUON, and pass protecting was okay. Like he still allowed like Josh Allen to get around there, because Josh Allen's just really fast, but had no complaints about him. The interior was good. I'm happy with the offensive line where we're at right now, especially with Andrew Thomas. Obviously, him being the best left tackle right now still in football.
Left tackle, the best offensive lineman, you mean?
I think he lost it. I think he lost it.
To who? To who?
It's to some interior lineman. I think Joe Petonio. I think they're either right next to each other as far as a grading goes, but I don't know. Petonio's ahead of him now.
Guess who Andrew Thomas is better than, y'all? Just make a guess. He's better than that amazing guard from the 2018 draft. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to admit that he's better than Quentin Nelson. I'm gonna just put that out there, bro. Put that out there.
Yeah. I don't even know where Quentin Nelson ranks, because I have not seen him in the rankings at all. I don't know if he's having a down year or something like that, but
well, the entire Colts are having a down year.
Yeah, they just benched Matt Ryan for Sam Ehlinger.
Well, he does have a shoulder injury, but it's not knocking him out for the rest of the season. They just called it a season, basically.
Baker Mayfield used to bully Sam Ehlinger, bro, and he now he's
hook 'em horns, bro.
Hook 'em horns, but yeah, Chase Young too. Yeah, Chase Young, screw Chase Young. AT and Trent Williams only tackles graded at 80+.
Trent is healthy again?
Huh? Chase
I
Young?
thought Trent was still injured.
Oh, Trent Williams? I don't know.
Yeah. But the interior, John Feliciano, somebody I didn't trust coming in, is doing a better job than I expected. Speaking of offensive line, we got to bring up Mr. Nick Gates.
Yes.
This man was activated earlier today, or was it?
Along with 2 other Giants as well.
But we got to talk about Nick Gates. We all know Nick Gates, you know what I'm saying, bro? That's my boy. Got his autograph, got to meet him, dapped him up.
Bro,
at Giants Fan Fest. But Supreme Hater KB,
bro, I'm not gonna lie.
So much.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared
Nick
of meeting
Gates
him.
knows of him, bro. Nick Gates knows of KB, and he doesn't like him, bro.
Nick Gates knows me, and he doesn't like me. So I want to apologize to him, bro. But I don't know if he's gonna let me apologize, or he's just gonna sock me in the face, bro. I don't know. Yeah, look at this dude saying how I should be playing offensive lineman. He's a midget, bro. So I don't know, man.
The story that is Nick Gates. Let's shift to that. Go ahead,
Nick Gates, man. He has been activated. I'm trying to look right now who else was activated. I know it was Rodarius Williams, Nick Gates, and somebody else was activated. Ellerson. Let's see what he has to, because
I don't care about it.
We need edge. We need edge right now.
But listen, the gruesome injury that should have knocked this man out for 2 years and potentially end his career, only knocked him out for about a year and some change, a couple weeks. Crazy. Now I don't know when he's going to be back, actually back, but he's on the active roster, which means it's got to be just a couple weeks.
It's got to be soon. It's got to be soon.
Maybe they bring him back after the bye. Maybe he's there for the Texans, bro.
I'm thinking after the bye he may be back, and then we have to talk about where do we put him.
Well, yeah, right here with the topic, offensive line. do you keep John Feliciano, who's been doing a serviceable job at center, or do you shift them out to guard since we do have an injured guard and put Gates
Right.
back at center? The
That's
thing
the
is, Gates
that's
was
the
great at guard too, so it's like where.
that's the freaking conundrum we got to deal with. But I am leaning more towards here's what I would personally put Gates at center and Feliciano at guard. But just by how the contract is with Feliciano and how he knew he was going to be a center, they signed him to be a center and all that stuff. They're probably going to lease Feliciano at center and put Nick Gates at guard, just because Nick Gates is probably more versatile as a player than Feliciano is. Now, let's get something straight. Feliciano is still a guard. You know, he is a guard, but he was signed to be a center. So I think they're not going to like kind of get away from that, and they're just going to leave it the way it is.
My only question to you is that do you think that would mess up any type of run blocking chemistry, or pass blocking thing that they have going?
No, I think it'll be a plug-in. He's going to be the best guard that we have. I mean, he's gonna when he gets put at left guard, he's going to be the best person we put at left guard. So it's going to help Andrew Thomas out a lot. And here's the thing, like Feliciano, he's on a 1-year deal, ain't he?
I would have to check. I don't know what kind of deal he's on.
Because
how many years is left on Nick Gates' contract, bro?
He was re-signed, so I think he has another year. He was re-signed before he got hurt. I think he has another year. So, you know, when Feliciano was gone, I would definitely put Nick Gates back at center. And I think Azudu is going to be good soon. Like, I want to be able to use Azudu. So, and
shout out to Chris in the chat. What up, man?
Hey,
how you doing?
What's up, man?
Stand up.
But
I think this is a little too late though. So then, sorry to cut you off, but Thanksgiving is 4 weeks from now. I don't think they'd sign him back to the active roster to wait a whole month, because then he'd basically put him on injury reserve at that point, right? But go ahead.
Yeah, obviously if they put him on the active roster, they expect him back before an IR, return. So, I would think he'll be back before then. But like I said, I'm looking forward to Azudu, and with Nick Gates coming back, it kind of takes Azudu out of this lineup, because then it kind of pushes Azudu to third string. Because if Bredesen were to come back, he would probably take reps over Azudu. So you kind of have to find out where to put him at that point. And if we make the playoffs too, you're not going to see Azudu at all. But so I really want to see I really want to be able to evaluate Azudu. And I hope he gets a chance to do that at some point this season, even when Nick Gates comes back.
The thing is that it still blows my mind that he was even activated. Like, part of me is still questioning, is he truly
I know. It was
healthy,
a freaking shock to me. I woke up to that. I'm like, Nick Gates is back. What?
Like, is he truly fully? If he's truly fully healthy, put him at center. Like, no question. But I don't, like, for real? His foot is good, bro. I don't know, man.
His foot is good.
His foot is good?
You good?
I don't know about that, man. That's crazy.
He broke his fibula and tibia. Like, both the bones in your leg, both snapped. So, it was clean, too.
Shout out to Nick Gates. Toughest dude in the world. Nick Gates versus the world.
Nick Gates, I hope you like me now, bro. Like, I want to squash the beef.
I don't think he's ever going to like you, bro.
I want to squash the beef. I got to talk to Bobby, bro, because I want to squash the beef.
With that, let's get to the next topic. Something that people have been hinting at chat when they're talking about our run defense.
Favorite targets, Tyler Lockett.
Smith looking for Goodwin in the end zone. A little toe tap in the corner for the touchdown.
All right. Geno Smith is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now, bro.
Is this 2011? What the hell?
Let's start off with that.
Did we like
this is the best he's ever played in his career. You can't even say it's 2011.
I know, right? Because he wasn't even the best
this
quarterback
man
that time either.
Literally looks how Russell Wilson is supposed to look. It's crazy. Geno Smith is that guy right now in Seattle, bro.
Bro, is it crazy to say that this game scares me the most so far?
No, because we're going up.
I thought this was gonna be a cakewalk
team, bro. This is a legit Seattle team,
bro. I thought that,
and I'll say this: if it wasn't for the existence of Brian Daboll, Pete Carroll will be getting Coach of the Year, and if it wasn't for the existence of Saquon Barkley, Geno Smith would be getting Comeback Player of the Year. Like, it shouldn't go unnoticed. It shouldn't go unnoticed the job that both of these guys are doing. Would you say with their record?
Yeah,
I think they're 4-2 or something. Excuse me, 4-2 or 4-3. They're leading the NFC West right now.
Wow, how about that? See, you know what's crazy? Like,
by the way, Chris, Chris pointed up a good point. This is the only matchup in the NFL this weekend that has two teams with winning
I know,
records.
That's crazy. And who would have thought it was the freaking Giants and Seahawks right now, but this game definitely scares me, man, because we talk about like
bro, but not
teams
even
having a
joking though.
story.
Real quick, I'm sorry, not even
Uh-huh.
joking. We've both seen some of the throws this man has made this year, and it's just like mind blowing.
He's
Yo,
making
it's
it
like
happen. He's making it happen.
he's making some
He's like,
elite
bro,
quarterback
he's one of the
plays.
highest graded quarterbacks in PFF. Like, he's not just.
He leads the NFL in completion percentage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Think about that for a second.
And he's not throwing for a little bit of yards. Like, I know he has
He's
some good
bombing that
weapons.
thing out sometimes.
Yeah,
bro.
he's not being like the Jets Geno Smith where he was dinking and dunking. Like, this guy is like throwing the ball deep. Like, where the hell was this Geno Smith for 10 years? Like, I don't even know.
But
Like,
then not just Geno Smith, Kenneth Walker and that Seattle offense, rushing wise, is really good. And we have a really bad rushing defense. Let's start off there, KB. Our terrible rushing defense versus their good rushing offense.
And yeah, before we talk about that, just, the momentum of each team, like how our team is kind of like, we're a story this season, right? But so are the Seattle Seahawks. So it's like, we can't be the ones to be like, well, we're having a historic season right now. Like, kind of the Seahawks are having one too. Like, so we can't just sit here and say the momentum's on our side when they're turning heads as well. So as far as the running game goes, that's what scares me the most, because the Seahawks and Pete Carroll have been a rushing oriented team since like beginning of Marshawn Lynch days. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like 10 years ago. They still always been a rushing team. They've always been. How many like running backs have they drafted? They draft one every year, it seems like. They were running well with Rashad Penny. He was actually looking like a first round pick. He gets hurt. They dropped Kenneth Walker last season. Like I said, they dropped a running back every year, and he looks absolutely amazing. And he is I think he's the only running back in this draft that ran like a 4.2, something like that.
In terms of speed, probably.
Yeah,
but like Kenneth Walker
he's fast as hell.
It's no surprise that he's good. He was top ranked running back, considered number one. Yeah,
a lot of people thought
like the dudes that are performing were dudes that were considered the number one. Damian Pierce, and Breece Hall.
Him and Breece Hall. Well, Damian Pierce was like regarded as a 4th round pick, but he's just balling out because of the situation he's in with the Texans. They have nobody else.
You already know I was a big fan of Pierce.
Oh yeah, we both were. I liked Pierce, but a lot of people, just agreed that he was a 3rd or 4th round guy. But Kenneth Walker was consistently just like a top 1, top 2 running back in this draft, and he's showing it here. And this just Seattle and their consistent ability to run the ball, no matter who. That's the dangerous part, Kush, is no matter who's at running back, they always find a way to run the ball. Always. Chris Carson, freaking, who is that? That guy, the one with the dreads, Alex something, right?
It don't matter. Just talk about this year.
Yeah, Alex, Kenneth Walker, Rashad Penny, DJ Dallas. Who the hell is DJ Dallas? He's out of Miami. He kind of sucks, but he's still running the rock. He's still getting a lot of yardage because they know how to run the ball. And let's not discount Tyler Lockett and his ability to stretch the field. Adoree Jackson definitely has a lot to handle this week. They're gonna be without DK, which helps us out a lot. But Tyler Lockett is nothing to scoff at.
Great point there, Durant. Their entire Seattle's rookie draft class is one of the best in the NFL right now.
Yeah. Now,
that I liked, Abraham Lucas and
bro, we liked Abraham Lucas for 2 years. Remember 2 years ago?
2 years. I remember.
Yeah.
I thought he was coming out last year, and I actually mocked the Giants to take him in the later rounds. Stayed one more year in college.
Round. Yeah,
completely improved.
Yeah, he completely improved. He was a borderline 1st round pick at the end of the draft. I think he wound up being drafted in the second round. Second or third,
something like that. Yeah,
I think in the second round he was drafted with Kenneth Walker, I think. But, yeah, he looks good. Charles Cross, I heard, looks good. I haven't watched anything.
What are we doing against the run, bro? What are we doing against the run? Are we stacking the box like Tana suggested in chat? Are we just gonna stack the box because they don't have DK? He's out, so we're just gonna stack the box and ask. And yeah, they still have Lockett, and Lockett is no joke. Are we gonna stack the box and ask DK? And ask Geno to beat us, or like, what's the approach here?
Asking Geno to beat you this year is just asking for death. I mean, like, he's going to be like, okay, no problem. That's the thing about this team. They're scary good as far as passing the ball and running the ball. I don't think our defense isn't equipped, even if we stack the box, to stop the Seattle's running game. Like, Jalen Smith is not doing well. Tay Crowder, I'm getting frustrated with him because he's not fitting his gaps well. He keeps getting lost in all the commotion. He's not being gap disciplined. He's constantly, like, I saw 2 or 3 runs from Travis Etienne that Tate Crowder just left his gap wide open, and Etienne said, "Screw it, you left it open. I'm going through it." So our linebackers are just not good. Like, they have regressed. They had a really good start to the season, and I don't know what the hell happened. Him and Jalen Smith are just bad now.
I said last night on Just Chillin', this is the game I need Leonard Williams to be Leonard Williams again. He's been back for only 2 weeks, and he just hasn't looked himself, in my opinion. Like, he's been playing good, but he hasn't been playing at Leonard Williams' top 5 defensive tackle in the league good.
Yeah.
And I need you to get back to that level, Leo, because we need you for this run game right now.
And Wink, this is not a game where you put 4 safeties out there. This is not a game where you do that and you expect them to stop the run, because they're going to get steamrolled.
Now, on the flip side, Seattle also has a pretty bad rushing
defense as well, which is good.
They only had one good game, which was last week against the Chargers. They held them to 53 yards, but literally every other game in the season, they've been one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. Saquon should eat. Daniel should eat. Matt Breida, if they finally use the guy, should eat.
Right. And I don't even think they have a great pass. Who the hell is their pass? Is LJ Collier like their number 1 guy right now? Like,
yo, when did they draft him? 2019?
I kid you not. When they drafted LJ Collier, I said, who?
Out of TCU, right?
Bro, yeah, to TCU. Who the hell is LJ Collier? They drafted somebody
Let's
this
see
year.
who they're. I'm looking at their depth chart right now.
Yeah, they drafted somebody
edge
this year.
rusher, Miles Adams, Quentin Jefferson.
Who?
Is their left defensive end and right defensive end. Their outside linebackers are Cody Barton and Darrell Taylor.
Who? Bro, who is that? Yo, I swear, if we have a bad day as far as like offensive line goes with that
I was
team,
gonna say we have some injuries on the line, and we just literally came off talking about how the line is dealing with those injuries nicely.
Bro, I'm
kind of with you, bro. Who are these guys?
Bro,
like,
I'm not even over exaggerating.
We shouldn't be letting up pressures and sacks like that this game.
Listen, I'm not even over exaggerating. I don't think I've ever heard those names in my life, and I know rosters, bro. Hold on, let me look at this myself. Hold on. Oh my god. Okay, I know who Puna Ford is. I know who Al Woods. I know who Shelby Harris is. So, they went to a 3-4? No kidding. They went to a 3-4? Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, LJ Collier is the second defensive end. Why is he a 3-4 defensive end? He should be a linebacker. But they drafted Boye Mafe. I don't know if they're using him. We know who Boye Mafe is.
Yeah, he wasn't on the depth chart as the starter, though.
Oh, they have Uchenna Nwasu. He's a guy to look at.
That's a name I know. Why?
USC.
Where was these names on the ESPN depth chart, bro?
No, don't even look at you. Look at Our Lads. Our Lads is always accurate. They update it like every day. But Uchenna Nwasu is good.
I don't listen. If he's gonna go up against Tyree Phillips, then yeah, all right. But this offensive line, in terms of pass protection, should be
and as far listen, Uchenna Nwasu being our only threat on the edge is good, right?
Yeah,
because he's all right, but he's like,
all right. Let's get down to brass tacks here, bro. How many
wait.
Should say what?
Can I ask a question?
No.
You guys remember our former fullback Cullen Gillespie, right?
Yeah, he's on the Seahawks.
Why is he an inside linebacker?
I don't know. Cullen Gillespie a revenge game, bro. He's gonna get a pick 6.
Bro, wait, why is he on defense? Did they say, yo, bro, I'm sorry, you just suck.
It's college, bro. Listen, let's not laugh at the Seahawks because they're a legitimate team, bro. But like I was saying, let's get down to brass tacks. How many yards should Saquon rush for?
They have a decent interior, to be honest with you. He's gonna have to hit the outside to really, which is obviously his forte.
Once again, one of the worst run defenses in the NFL.
Right. I don't even know how, because Shelby Harris is decent. Puna Ford is decent. I don't know, but we're gonna have to do what we do best, you know. And run. We've been doing a lot of inside zone. We've been trying outside zones. It's not working. Yeah, well, we tried it. You know, our only run in that first opening drive against the Jags, where we had that like 4-yard loss. The only time we ran the ball, that was our attempt.
And Campbell brings up a point, which is another reason we should lean on the run. Not only lean on the run because it's their weakness, but lean on the run because they have good corners.
Yeah, they're 2 rookies.
Shout out to Tariq Woolen, man.
Yeah,
I wanted Kobe Bryant. You know how many times in the draft process I said we should take Kobe Bryant, bro.
Do you know how many times during the draft process I said I want Tariq Woolen? I'm sorry.
No, you got that one, bro. You got that one.
Bro, I'm sorry. You have a 6'4" corner that has like 4.3 speed, and has a 33-inch arms? You're telling me you
But
wouldn't
he's not
draft
gonna
this
be
guy?
good, bro. Like, come on.
He was a 5th-round pick. I don't care if
No
he's
disrespect to Cordell
bro,
Flott. We could
no,
have
no
had a starting
disrespect.
corner right now,
No
bro.
disrespect, but I don't care if you have dog water for film and you're a cornerback with 33-inch arms, you run a 4.2 and you're 6'4", I'm drafting you. I don't care if you have the most garbage film on tape. Bro, your measurables, I'm drafting you. I feel like my coaches can get you there. And he has 4 picks. Oh, God.
Tariq Woolen is that guy,
Tariq
bro.
Woolen.
It's been a great corner class. Just not to get too off topic here. Sauce has
Yeah.
been amazing. Tariq Woolen has been amazing. Derek Stingley has been pretty good under the radar because he plays for the Texans.
Derek
It's been
Stingley has been shut down. He's like the a top 5 lockdown corner this year.
as a
Him
rookie.
and Sauce.
It's literally because Sauce gets more attention. It's not that like Sauce gets more attention because he's in the New York market.
Right.
But this man, like Derek is playing in Houston, bro, so he doesn't get as much media coverage.
Right. And Marjorie says,
But yeah,
Baby Moreau.
get back here. Give me
Yeah.
a yardage for Saquon.
Whew. I want to say he still gets over 100 because they're just a bad rushing defense.
You're being kind of conservative, but all right.
Because I think we're gonna be more one-dimensional. So because we do have a lot of struggle.
How many rushing yards does Daniel get? Also, are we getting a repeat? Or is he gonna get like 60, 70?
I don't know, man. That's hard to really
That's definitely hard. But
evaluate.
I feel like Saquon could get like 125.
Because I don't want to go too high and be like, oh, he's gonna have 150 because the Russian defense sucks. Because we just know the reality of the situation. Sometimes that doesn't happen. But just because of certain situations,
I'd say 125.
I
feel like Saquon could get there.
I hate to guarantee this, but I would guarantee over 100. It just depends of how can he break past the second level and just completely get these chunky yardage plays. Who are their linebackers? That's a big thing. Jordan Brooks has been a decent linebacker for them, even though he was a terrible first-round pick. Cody Barton, I know nothing about, but I know Jordan Brooks is like on the top tackles list this season right now. So there's that. You would just have to hope that Saquon Barkley reaches to that second level and see what he does from there. But this is no Legion of Boom, right? You don't have Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor helping stop the run because they were absolute monsters stopping the run, as well as stopping the pass as well. So they have Quandre Diggs, who is a smaller corner. Oh, he's okay. Josh Jones, okay. Tease Tabor went to corner, okay. But that's it. They really don't have anybody else in that secondary to help stop the run in the second level. So if Saquon can get past the first level of Shelby Harris, Poona Ford, and Al Woods, I think he's gonna be off to the races. So yeah. I feel like he does it.
Now flipping back to Seattle's side, because our run defense is not the best. Do you think Kenneth Walker could get around 100?
Yes. Can I guarantee that too?
I agree. So guess what it comes down to? If both running backs are being successful, Geno Smith versus DJ.
Because listen, what is the Giants defense? It's the outside run. The Giants defense weakness is the outside run. What's the Seahawks strength? It's the outside run. So it's just not looking good. Also, Tana had a good question as well after the Danny Thomas.
Well, first I was going to say, I want to talk about a couple of our corners, like Marjorie Brown up, Fabian Moreau. He's been playing out of his mind. I love him. He is one of my newfound favorites on the team. I think our corners are going to do a bit better than maybe national media expects against Tyler Lockett and Marquise Goodwin. Shout out to Danny Thomas for $5 super chat. He says, you think Ellerson Smith and DeMarcus Williams play against the Seahawks? I don't know. I don't know if any of the guys that we activated are going to play against the Seahawks. Somebody would have to give me a little bit of
Rodarius. I think he means Rodarius Williams.
Rodarius Williams. Okay.
I think that's what we mean, not DeMarcus. I don't know who DeMarcus Williams is, but Rodarius Williams. I would keep him. I would keep him around because I like Rodarius Williams. He holds his own. He just gets hurt a lot. I mean, this is the second time that he had 2 major injuries with us already, and we just drafted the guy. So like 2 years ago. As far as Ellerson Smith goes, I don't think we have a need for him yet because I don't know if O'Shane's coming back, and we still have Jihad Ward. We still have Tyrone Fox. Quincy Roche is being elevated, and obviously Kayvon. So I don't think he's needed yet, but I'm sure he'll be part of the rotation at some point. And then Tana had a good question. Do you think Jones has the best run? Best at is Jones? Wait, do you think Jones is the
Bro,
best at the run fake? I don't know.
this
I'm
guy,
just
bro.
dyslexic today, bro. I'm sorry. Best at the run fake in the NFL. So play actions. I think watching him on film, I think he definitely does. He pulls in linebackers so well. Because obviously he has a threat of running. But I'm sorry, nobody is better at play action than Lamar Jackson. Like watching him, even when we were calling the game, he was so good at selling that sometimes he would like hand it off, but it still looked like he had it. And sometimes he would fake it and still has the ball. It looked like he passed it off. Like he would just completely run things nonchalantly. But one thing I will say is that Daniel Jones is definitely good at that as well. He's good at selling that as well, especially when it comes to like those jet sweeps and stuff like that. He's good at selling it. So, and that's something that helps out his game. He pulls in those linebackers. He pulls in those defensive linemen when they run those like inside zone play actions where they run inside zone, like let's say to the right, and he bootlegs left. He causes that whole front seven to go right, and he goes left. He runs for some major yardage. So I love.
We gotta wrap up this topic here, KB. So
yeah.
let me get your score.
Great RPO as well, Chris. I completely agree. Score. You go first.
No, I asked you.
I always go first. You go first.
Well, maybe when you're hosting, you should ask me to go first. How about that? Like I'm asking you to go first.
All right. You guys are gonna kill me. I'm hoping the Giants prove me wrong. I think we're gonna lose. It's just because us as a team, we don't have the capacity of scoring high amount of points yet. Although the Seattle Seahawks defense sucks, they're still keeping up in games in these high-scoring games. They won a game 48-45 against Detroit. They beat the Chargers 37 to like, what was the score? 37 to what? They have the ability of scoring a lot of points, and I don't think we have that ability despite their defense being that bad. So I still think it's going to be a close game, but I just think that Seattle just has a lot more tricks up their sleeve and a lot more weapons.
Bro, just give me a score prediction. You dragging this on. We need to move on.
I'm trying to because I don't want the comments to kill me because the moment I say we lose, people are like, I can't believe you would say that about a 6-1 team.
Go ahead, man.
All right. Giants lose 31-24.
It's not terrible. It's not a blowout. It's a one-score game.
One-score game.
It's funny. I have almost the exact opposite score. The Giants winning, I'd say 27-20.
Okay. You had that last week. Can you be like original? Can you just like get
it's worked. It's worked for 7 weeks in a row.
I could have sworn you put 27-20 like all the games.
For 7 weeks, 6 out of 7
bro,
weeks.
Bro, you're like Cynthia Freeland over here, bro. What are you doing?
And like Cynthia's algorithm, mine works. Hers doesn't work. The Giants winning. We started 9-1, and that leads to this very next topic.
More work to be done. That's right, though.
Yo, Wandale is
the feel around his team is different. They definitely got some chemistry, as you saw with that clip right there. Mm-hmm. Are they poised for the playoffs, KB?
Yes. I mean, somebody said this on Twitter where it's like, oh, well, we have to start thinking about like we're 6-1. We have there's not a talk about, oh, we should start thinking playoffs. Like I said on Twitter so many times, there's no way, honestly, knock on wood, there's no way we don't make the playoffs.
KB's gonna jinx us, bro. I just have I swear to God.
Listen, we're not even.
I don't know where you live, but I know your neighborhood. I will find you.
Bro, we're not even halfway through the season yet, and we have 6 wins already. Okay, probably like the least amount of wins you need to make the playoffs is like 9. 8-9, especially with the 7th seed, you may even have a better chance.
You don't need a little bit more in this division.
Yeah. Well, in this conference, you may be able to get away with it because our division is good. Our conference is garbage. We're 6-1 right now. It's unless we really don't win another game, and we can arguably say our record gets easier from now on. So we have the Texans coming up. We have Detroit coming up. We have a lot of teams that are pretty. We had Commanders twice, right? So, we are definitely making the playoffs. To me, we're definitely. It just matters about our seeding, and it matters about how many wins we end up with. But I think we're definitely make the playoffs. We have 6 wins already. There's just, barring a huge collapse, that I don't see us not making the playoffs.
So I'm with you, but as usual this season, I think I'm a little bit more optimistic than you in the playoffs. I've been saying essentially since we beat the Packers that I can very much see a home playoff game in the works for us. Meaning, yeah, I could see us ending up being. This is crazy when you think about it. Not only first in the NFC East, but by default that will make us first in the NFL by win record, because I don't think the Eagles are going to stay undefeated forever, and they have a super cakewalk schedule. By the way,
the number 1 seed.
But KB, like the Eagles, they do have a cakewalk of a schedule when I looked at it.
They do,
but I don't think they're going to stay undefeated. I think we're going to get them at least once. I think Dallas is going to get them in their second game, and maybe there's some other surprise team out there that gets them as well. But they're not staying undefeated. And us, we might not be the best team talent-wise in the NFL, and we talked about all the weaknesses this team has. But I think that we could punch with the best teams in the NFL. I think we could hang in there with the best of them, and it's just gonna see, can Brian Daboll pull a win out of his hat against those best teams. So I don't think it's out of the realm possibility that we get somehow, some way, first place in the NFC East in a home playoff game. I really think it's attainable. It's attainable. It's there. We just got to continue putting the heads down and winning those games. Now, what this question really is, because we both agree they can make the playoffs. What this question really is there any type of playoff run in the making?
Run depends on who we face, because if the Bucs make first of all, I really hope somehow, some way, a team like the Falcons wins wins the South, because the Bucs look like garbage. And I believe they're 3-4, and they're tied with the Falcons at 3-4, I believe. So it's still not out of the realm of possibility. But even again, like I want to face the NFC South if we make the playoffs. Like if we face the NFC, any guy from the NFC South, or any team from the NFC South, we might be able to make it like a really strong case.
If luck breaks our way and we get healthier, the season goes down the stretch.
We should.
Leonard Williams gets fully healthy. Aziz gets fully healthy. Linemen get fully healthy. Maybe we get a receiver or two back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we get a receiver or two back, because we're one of the most injured teams in the NFL right now. If we play the way we're playing and we get fully healthy, knock on wood, you could say I got my blue blinders on, but the sky's the limit. I'm keeping it real with you.
I would like to believe that. I don't know if we'll be strong enough to hang in there for a possible Super Bowl run, but then again, it could be wrong.
In terms of beating being in games with the best teams.
That's true. I don't really know what the roster was looking like back then for when Mark Sanchez's Jets, but I know they had Rex Ryan there.
It was kind of very similar to the current Jets. Ran the ball well, had a good defense.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Is there
anything we need to do, you think, to solidify any type of playoff run? Because you know what the last topic is.
Yeah. So should we jump into it now, or?
It's up to you. Whenever you feel comfortable, unless there's something else you want to add here.
I think we could go jump into the next one, because I think it's an astounding yes. I think
it's an astounding, like, in terms of if you want to solidify something. Oh, I got you. Do the coaches think, because that definitely relates to the last topic as well, do the coaches think this team can make a playoff run? Because if their minds have been changed and the front office minds have been changed with this 6-1 start, the performance by our quarterback, and everything else that's going right, do you think their minds are maybe a little bit changed about how they approach this quote-unquote rebuild now? Or you think they're going to stay pat? Because all reports saying that they're going to stay pat.
That's a good question, because do you want to make a big trade for let's say a receiver or corner or whatever the case is, the stuff that you really need for a playoff run? And do you potentially put yourself in a little bit of a hole as far as rebuilding goes for the future? Because I swear to you, I don't think Brian Daboll and Joe Shane envisioned this of happening, where they're at a point where they're 6-1.
So I don't know. Like, that's a question we can't answer then, right? Like,
right?
How have their minds may or may not be changed? But let's hop into the last topic of the night.
Want to get your thoughts on going for it on 4th and 2 in just a moment.
By Johnson right there, you can see the frustration by Jones, but
So I chose that.
Ball.
I chose those 2 clips for a reason. And shout out to Marjorie. Thank you for reminding us of the stud that we have on the practice squad. Malachi Polk. I'll definitely have to keep my eye on him. But Marjorie, by what you're saying, why hasn't this man been elevated if he was that good at Mississippi State University? We should definitely elevate him.
Well, they probably play like that game of who's practicing and who's been there, who's like showing effort. Because literally, that's the only reason why David Sills is on the field. So I have to believe that's true because there's no way David Sills is outperforming all these receivers on the roster.
Yeah.
And so
we did sign Andre Miller at tight end.
Oh, he's gonna be. I know they're gonna elevate this guy. They're gonna elevate him because he's gonna be another
element. Andre Miller?
Huh?
What do you see in him?
What do I see? I see him as that receiving threat at tight end that we desperately need because although Bellinger's probably done for the season, so we're gonna be dealing with Myrick and Tanner Hudson. Okay, that's not like great. So I definitely see us using Andre Miller more. And remember, Andre Miller is a wide receiver at heart. He just got turned to tight end, and he can make some plays, man. And he could also be that mismatch nightmare that we lost in Evan Ingram. And let's just hope he has hands, So I like and Tanner makes a good point. He's an H-back, isn't he? Like a good block. No, Andre Miller is you're talking about Austin Allen. Austin Allen was like more of the guy that's a great blocker. But Andre Miller was a receiver that turned tight end, but he's still a bigger guy. I think he's like 6'5", something like that, maybe even taller than that. He's huge. He's huge. But I believe we also brought back Austin Allen as well. But as far as making a trade for a player, I don't know who's on that block to really make that decision. I would think if the Giants make any type of trade, it's trades to be stopgap trades, trades to kind of band-aid maybe a corner spot, which we're all right in, but we need some depth. And obviously the wide receiver position. That's the 2 positions I really see us possibly making a trade in.
With the 2 guys I have here, Greedy Williams on here right now, who a lot of people think fits our scheme really well. Brandon Cook's one of many wide receivers' names that's been thrown out there. But to wrap up the Malachi Polk, then go ahead and you could read that out loud. His stats from the last.
I have to look him up because somebody was talking about him before on Twitter, and I need to look him up. 105 catches, the MSU single season record, first in the SEC. 1,046 yards, single season record, 6 in the SEC, 9 touchdowns, 4th best in the SEC. So I got to see the way he plays because a lot of these statistics probably don't even matter to a lot of these coaches. All matter about how you get them. So I have to look at that. But like I said, he may be great and they may be using him soon. I feel like the only reason why
I was going to say, if she says he's good in contested catches, only this past week, honestly, we threw up some actual contested balls to Darius Slayton.
Yeah.
Maybe they bring him up because let's keep it real. I don't think Kenny Galladay's seen any playing time. So we'll see.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind checking him out and seeing what happens because, listen, you can't get any better than David Sills, any worse than David Sills, honestly. So
back with these trades, though, some people were in the chat were putting in, they're not sure if they're comfortable kind of going, quote-unquote, all in, sending away some high-value picks.
Exactly.
For some players that may not necessarily be worth the picks.
Because this was,
we don't know how it's going to work out. That's really what it comes down to. Like, as you said earlier, we don't know what they're thinking. If they're still thinking, which would be true, that there's still a lot of holes to fill in on this team, that you need to really honestly keep as much capital as you have.
This position that we're in was a pipe dream for a lot of Giants fans and probably the Giants organization as well. Like we touched on earlier, they didn't expect us to be in this position. I don't care what they would say, but they didn't, in their heart of hearts, they didn't believe we would be here. And so you got to think they already have a plan going into the future, or somewhat of a plan going into the future of all their draft capital. And I don't think they're going to be saying, hey, listen, I know we made it this far, but let's push all the way and make a big trade and just throw everything on this season. I don't think they would do that. I don't think we have the draft capital to do that. We don't have a lot of picks. I don't think we have a lot of picks going into these next couple of drafts. So I think we're right around like average, but I wouldn't make a pick because is Greedy Williams really going to take us over the edge? Is Brandon Cooks really going to take us over the edge? And if you do make that sort of trade and it doesn't work out and we lose, what then will you say? That we lost that draft capital and we
Yeah.
still are forced to rebuild with
The
possibly
thing is that
a
I think very obviously
Huh?
you give up way better picks for the wide receiver position, which once again is another reason I tossed up Greedy Williams here. A lot of people don't realize we could use help on the defense as well, and I don't know. I think we could probably get Greedy for a mid-round pick. Am I being a little too optimistic there?
Greedy
Because
is
he's not really. He doesn't just fit what Cleveland is doing.
yeah, but Greedy is still on his rookie deal. That's
He's
worth
gonna
something.
Yeah, but he's gonna be a free agent this year. That also takes away.
Did they
from that
not pick up
value.
his 5th-year option?
I don't think so. I could double check.
Go ahead, because he was drafted with Daniel Jones' draft.
Yeah.
So, oh wait, no, there's no 5th-year option. Greedy's a 2nd-round pick.
There you go then.
So he
Yeah,
is on
he's
his
like a free
contract
agent this year,
year.
so that takes away from him.
So
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
so that's gonna make him even cheaper. But then again, that now brings you out of position because we're still a quote unquote rebuilding team. Why then are we gonna pick up a contract that's
That we have to
expiring
sign,
this
yeah.
year? And that we want to keep him around, we're gonna have to re-sign him. Otherwise, the draft capital that we traded for him is gonna be worth nothing. If we wind up losing this season and we still traded for him, that may be a problem. A lot of people are talking about DJ Moore. It appears that DJ Moore is not going to be traded, which is interesting. I would probably
to say
think
at least.
if I'm the GM, I would think he's the first guy I'm thinking about trading. Not because of him personally. It's just that, first of all, they're not targeting him.
I think it's clear that they're planning to draft a young QB, so they probably want, like, Christian McCaffrey's already gone. At least
They're
they
not
give the guy a
using the
weapon.
guy. They don't even throw his way.
Listen,
Like-
I would love to have DJ Moore as well because he has a $1 million cap hit this year, bro.
Oh my God.
He has like a $1.7
signed-
million cap hit this year.
He signed that?
Yeah, his contract, I don't know, bro. I've said it so many
Was it
times. His
backloaded
contract is
heavily?
so team friendly. It's like middle loaded. Like the big cap hit is next year, and then it goes down from that. It's like I think it's like a $20 million cap hit next year, but like the last year is like 15. It goes down like quite a bit.
Here's the thing: how the hell did we get rid of a Kenny Galladay contract and bring in DJ Moore? It's like we have to get rid of Kenny Galladay's
Listen,
contract.
If we somehow trade for DJ Moore, you tell me we don't have like $2 million in cap space, bro. And then next year Kenny's getting cut anyway.
Yeah, but we have to look at how much Kenny Galladay would cost if we cut him.
I know that we save.
Because you're saying next year DJ Moore makes $20 million.
Let me pull up his contract right now.
Because you're talking about next year spending $40 million on just 2 receivers.
So, yeah, you gotta remember he signed a very team-friendly contract. It was $41.6 million in total. This year, his
Might be
his
backloaded
base
like
salary is $1 million. The total cap hit is $6 million.
Okay.
I feel like we could definitely make space for $6 million. Next year, yeah.
Remember, it's less than that though. Remember, it's less because he's already had a couple game checks. We're not paying that full.
So the base salary next year is $19 million. The cap hit is 25, and then like I said, it goes down from there. The base hit in 24 is 15 million. The cap hit is 20.9, and it's basically the same thing in 25.
Okay, we're gonna have to pull up Kenny.
Like
Galladay's contract.
it is team friendly. Like
it's team friendly for this year, but it's backloaded.
but for a guy like DJ Moore, like that's definitely a team friendly deal. It's
Yeah,
not
but
like
it's not
Christian Kirk.
right, but it's not team friendly for us because we're already dealing with Kenny Galladay's contract, and Kenny Galladay.
But if we
I
can
don't
get,
think we're
that's what
able
I'm
to
saying.
cut
If
him.
we could get rid of Galladay, then it's team friendly.
If we can trade Kenny Galladay where they take 100% of his cap, which I don't think is happening.
Well, when we cut him, how much money do we save?
Oh my God.
What?
If we cut Kenny Galladay this year,
Next year.
30, and I know next year, but this year it'd be $31 million in dead cap. Next year
If
it'd
we
be
cut him next year.
$14.5 million.
That's what I'm saying. It drops so much, yo.
But $14.5 million is a lot to eat, bro.
It's a lot, but like, how much is cap savings? Is it?
Huh?
How much in cap savings is it?
In savings, you save $7 million.
I'm just saying, man. But any other name you throw out here, or on the defensive or offensive side? Ryan Kelly is a name you could look at for offensive line. Everybody one thinks about it because he's apparently the Colts are looking to trade some people since they're kind of giving up on the season.
Now let me look at Ryan Kelly's contract. But Ryan Kelly is a center, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a center.
Okay, that means we would be talking about putting Nick Gates at guard. Look at his contract. Oh, his contract's not that. Oh, $12 billion cap hit for a center. I don't know. At 30 years old, and then at 31, it'd be $14 billion.
I'm just throwing out some names. You got any names to throw out?
No, I haven't really looked at the cap. I haven't really looked at the trade block of who is available for trade. I don't know. Like I said, there's only big names that I would know. Like none of us really knows the small names that are on the trade block, so we don't really know who's really on there. I wish they would make that thing public, but they don't.
I mean, so Brandon Cooks, yeah or nay on possibly him? You say nay.
I said nay in the beginning, but I remember when Mike Nixon brought it up, it honestly wasn't.
And then like I talked about his like just reputation of when healthy, he's one of the most reliable guys in the league.
He is. He's just reliable. And I wouldn't be opposed to it. Here's the thing. If the Giants make a move on any player, I'm on board because that means they're comfortable with doing it. That means they have it under control, right? I don't think this is not like a Dave Gettleman regime where I'm like, yo, what the hell are you doing? I trust this front office and this coaching staff. So whoever they pull off, they get greedy. They get DJ Moore. They get Brandon Cooks. I don't care. Except Jerry Jeudy. If they get Jerry Jeudy, then I'll be pissed. Because somebody mentioned Jerry
super
Jeudy
chat.
there.
You see the super chat shot to Danny Thomas for $2 super chat. He says, "How about Jerry Jeudy or Denzel Mims?" Give you a little spiel on Jerry Jeudy. A lot of fans don't want him because he really does have a drop problem.
He leads the league in drops, bro. Bro, like we talk about Darius Slayton, we talk about Evan Ingram, we talk about Marcus Johnson, we're talking about a lot of these guys. Bro, you're getting the king of drops in Jerry Jeudy. Like we need to not be fascinated by his route running and his deep threat ability. He drops the ball real too much, bro, guys. You guys saw it in that it was a primetime game. It was an easy touchdown. Deep ball down the field where Russell Wilson hit him right in the numbers and he drops it. Like that's the type of stuff we're going to be dealing with. I don't want to get back to that. And on top of that, the biggest problems the Giants receivers has faced throughout this season were drops and injuries. Jerry Jeudy seems to be the king of both. So Jerry Jeudy is a no-go. No-go. I'm tired of Giants fans constantly saying we're sick of injury prone receivers.
I'll say this.
And you guys want injury prone receivers.
Let me bring this up. A caller last night brought this up when they said a very similar receiver at this point in his career was Amari Cooper, and Amari had drop problems in Oakland as well. And when he went to Dallas, his hands became way better.
Not as much as Jerry.
Amari had a 50% catch rate in Oakland, bro. Well, that's worse than Jerry.
No, I can't believe that Amari Cooper was worse of a receiver catching the football than Jerry Jeudy was.
I'm looking at Pro Football Reference right now.
I can't. I'm sorry. I don't care about stats. I got to see the games because Amari Cooper was different, bro. Amari Cooper is different. He was better than Jerry Jeudy coming out of college. I don't care. Jerry Jeudy was a one-trick pony.
It was Mike Green that called in, but yeah, no, like basically he brought in that on a losing team, he got a change of scenery. The team took a chance on him, and his catch percentage increased dramatically. Literally, he went from catching 50% in Oakland to catching 70% in Dallas.
We have to stop telling this to ourselves. We have to stop saying maybe it's going to be different when he comes here because it never is. Okay?
That was the past.
Yeah.
You're not a Giants fan.
Listen. Kenny Galladay was the god of the 50-50 ball. He comes here, he's even worse.
Joe Judge.
Listen,
he's a bum.
I'm tired of the it's going to be different here.
This is Brian Daboll.
I'm tired of it.
This is the big show.
I'm tired of it. Okay?
This is Mike.
Listen.
Kafka.
Listen.
That's all I'm saying. It's a different time, bro.
It's crazy because it's only been it's like the receivers and the Giants fans, it's like they're addicted to being hurt over and over and over again, right? Like it's like having a bad type, right? You have that one ex-girlfriend, but you know she's not good for you, but you find somebody else that is just like that girl. But that's all
bring your romance life into this, bro.
That's
okay?
all you're used to, bro.
Don't bring your personal romance life into football,
getting
bro.
Injury-prone receivers that have the case of the dropsies, and that's all we want to bring in.
Are you not tired of seeing
you're
number
desperate.
13?
So listen, we're admitting that we're just desperate, and we want to make bad decisions because we're desperate.
This is my question for you.
Why not make the most logical decision?
Negative. Why are you so negative?
I'm realistic.
That Jerry Jeudy might change. No, you're not. You know why you're not realistic? Because you're thinking like Joe Judge and Dave Gettleman is still the head of operations over here.
Listen, I'm telling you, this is just like having having a bad type, bro. He's like, maybe I can change this.
Jerry Jeudy
Maybe I can change
would
this
be a
one.
top
Maybe it's
10
gonna be
receiver
different.
over here.
Maybe it's gonna be different. Are you guys not seeing what your eyes are showing you? That's like saying, hold on. That's like saying,
Why do you
fan.
just ignore the Amari Cooper example that I brought up?
No, screw the Amari Cooper. No.
Why?
Let's talk about something different.
What about
if I'm a Bears fan?
Something different fits your agenda.
Listen to me.
Because something different
What
fits
about
your
if
agenda.
I'm a Bears fan? If I'm a Bears fan and say, man, I would like Darius Slayton. Maybe it'll be different if he's on the Bears. That's stupid. That's stupid.
Maybe. You know why? Because Darnell Mooney's making some catches over there, my boy. Maybe.
He never had the case of the dropsies. He never had a problem like Darnell Mooney can't catch the ball.
Maybe Tyke Tolbert does some magic with Slayton in Chicago, bro.
Listen, so you're telling me it's completely logical for a Bears fan to look at Darius Slayton and say, damn, maybe he's going to be good in Chicago. Maybe we can change him. You kidding me?
But do you realize the examples you're bringing up? You're bringing up a 5th-round pick out of Auburn versus somebody that was regarded as one of the best receivers out of Alabama.
Receivers that get hurt and they can't catch the ball. I think it's no different.
Oh, brother.
This guy stinks.
No, you stink. My God.
I can't. I will never feed into the. You guys are delusional. You're delusional. You guys are so used to being hurt so much that you just want it over and over again. You're asking for it. You're asking for it.
Take that back.
You're
Take that
asking
back.
for it. And then we trade for Jerry Jeudy, and it's the same fans.
Take back what you said.
He can't catch the football.
Take
Wow,
back
we
what you
made a
said.
terrible trade. You asked.
Take back what you said.
No.
Take back what you said.
No.
It's all right. I can't have that on the show. A little too negative. Let's deep breaths. Get some positive zen in this area right now. When I bring you back on, you're gonna behave.
I hate all of you.
You know what's funny, KB?
I can't stand any of you. This is
Who's
why
been the
Giants
more
Twitter
positive?
is
No.
so
It's my
toxic.
turn. It's my turn.
Skip. Listen here, Skip.
Listen.
Talk.
LaShannon Sharp. Who's been the more optimistic guy this season? Me.
Yeah, you're too optimistic.
The Giants are
saying
6-1.
Jerry Jeudy is going to be a catch machine, and he's just going to catch
Oh my
everything,
God!
and he's
Move
not going to
on
have
from
problems.
Jeudy already. Did Jerry Jeudy kill somebody in your family, bro? Like, no.
No,
Okay.
but he made football hard to
Let's
watch.
talk about somebody that the chat asked about that I personally don't
Oh,
want.
we're
I don't
jumping
get-
off this subject, right? We're just
I don't-
conceding.
Bro, we're 138 into the show. Somebody that I had never really considered. I don't really think we should make a trade for him because I don't think he's gonna be an upgrade, but he's not like a number one. Terrace Marshall, also from the Panthers,
Hell
is
no.
some name that people have thrown out there.
I'm sorry. The only person that wants Terrace Marshall is Diggy. Let's be real.
Nah, bro, somebody in the chat popped it up. If I could
trash.
find it.
He's trash. I want
Yo,
somebody.
what
proven.
about they have no reason to trade him, bro? Brandon Ayuk. They got no reason to trade him.
Yes, hell
but-
yeah.
But
Hell
throw,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Throw a trade package out there for Brandon Ayuk.
See, Brandon Ayuk is a guy that he had a slow start to his.
Now here's a guy.
Yeah, now here's a guy. He had a slow start to his career, but he's picked it up and he's actually become a really decent option for the 49ers. So
He
I
was
would
drafted what year again?
2019.
Oh, he would be on his contract.
He was
unless-
Justin Jefferson's draft.
Okay.
But they're not trading him. But because they're like championship ready. Like they just traded for Christian McCaffrey. They wouldn't trade away.
Oh, he has
Ayuk.
this year and next year left on his deal, 2020. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk, they won't trade him. That's the
You
thing.
know
It's just
somebody
like
I
a
would.
fun name to toss
You know
out there.
somebody I would
Let
actually.
me finish.
I don't go.
All right.
Ayuk ain't being traded, bro.
Similar situation, right? Similar situation, but somebody I think we should target when he hits free agency. T. Higgins. I really believe T. Higgins has the potential to be a number one receiver. It's just that he has the best
Hell yeah.
receiver in football next to him, yo.
Yeah, I would love T. Higgins. He ain't being traded either. Tanner brought there's
Paris
two
Campbell.
names. Paris Campbell is not bad. I wouldn't mind him. The Colts are probably a selling team. I wouldn't mind him. Denzel Mims is going to be extremely cheap because he's not used. Like
This
nobody
man
knows
has-
what this kid man can do.
Bro, what in the world? Is he healthy?
He's healthy. He's just been healthy scratches.
Why hasn't he been used then?
Remember,
if he's not, but KB healthy scratch. I don't know if I want a healthy scratch.
No, but remember, remember Elijah Moore, ironically still with the Jets. They're not using Elijah Moore. He requested a trade. Denzel Mims requested a trade all the way in the beginning of the season because they're not using him. Same situation. They're talented. Denzel Mims is a talented receiver. Honestly, let's talk about Elijah Moore. I made a video. I would definitely trade for Elijah Moore.
I did in my 2020 mock drafts. I did mock us taking him. I'm gonna be honest though. I don't know if I want somebody in his second year calling to be traded on a winning team. Handle that internally, bro. That's something that
you gotta think about something. You gotta think about something. This is their livelihood. If you're not making numbers, I mean, you're still winning. You're not making numbers. That makes it look like they're winning despite, not because of you. And that's gonna hurt his contract deals. And you want statistics. You want production.
So we're just excusing dudes on their rookie deal asking out now, like for real?
Yeah, yes.
In their second year?
Yes. If I want to
earned asking out, in my opinion. You haven't earned the right to ask for a
he had
trade.
a really good rookie season coming off of an injury. Like, he was, like, on
yeah,
fire.
But who is he to ask for a trade?
There were games where he wasn't targeted once, and he was on the field 100%.
I'm not disagreeing with you that he's been underutilized, and, like, the Jets, like... But
I think that's overrated. I think it's overrated to be like, I don't like your attitude because you're
no, it's not that. It's that you're literally a second-year player, bro. You got no right to be asking for a trade.
I'll take him. You complain. If you want... Complain all you want. I'll take it. I'll throw the ball to you.
I'll tell you what now. If they make a trade for him, it will be a terrible trade because Brian Daboll not letting that man start.
Over David Sills?
He's not gonna let that man start, bro.
Over David Sills? You telling me David Sills is gonna start? Marcus Johnson is gonna start over Elijah Moore?
They're starting over KT right now, so
KT's not even in. He's hurt,
bro. Even when he was healthy, they were starting over him too, bro. But I will say Elijah Moore from a just on the field standpoint, I'm with you 100%. Like I said, I had us drafting him, and it's funny. I remember last year the Elijah Moore versus Kadarius Toney debates that just completely disappeared for their own reasons on both sides. Yeah. That's kind of hilarious when you think about it. Anybody on the defensive side of the ball? I see Michael Pittman thrown out in the chat.
He's their number one, and they're not trading him. They're not trading Pittman. He's our number one.
This man David L is joking. He says Cooper Kupp. You're funny. If we do make a small move, what do you think
it'll be a small move?
Like I said, what is a small move?
I think a Denzel Mims type move is a small move. Maybe
still on wide receiver, not another position. So I said still wide receiver, not another position.
Like I said, I think the only position we will be trading for is receiver and corner. I think that's the only position we'll be trading for. You could argue linemen, but I'm just not well versed in all the linemen out there to really make that decision who would possibly be on the trade block. But I think receiver and corner is the only position we would possibly target. You may sort of like dabble in like the off-ball linebackers because they're sucking right now, and you may get a linebacker that's on the trade block, and we make him get. Charlie Collins says Singleton on the Broncos would be that would be good. I wouldn't mind Singleton.
It's crazy. The Broncos with a $250 million quarterback are selling, bro.
They have to. That's crazy. It's just to pay for this man's contract. But yeah, I definitely a smaller move if we do make a move at all. But
Charlie Collins, I don't know if you just popped in, but we just had like a heated 15-minute debate. But we're not revisiting that, bro. Rewind though.
Stand you Giants fans.
It's Kid Blue, bro. He's an Eagles fan. Never forget.
I can't. I just don't know why Giants fans do that to themselves. I don't understand. We've been doing that for years. It's like, I don't want no more injury prone receivers, but hey, we should draft this injury prone receiver. It's stupid. I don't like it. Anyway, moving on.
This guy just can't shut his mouth, bro. He gotta keep digging. Gotta keep taking shots.
Twist the knife. All right.
I take back what I said earlier. You did not redeem yourself as co-host. I'm still on the lookout for a new one. Mike Gesicki. I don't even know, why is Mike Gesicki on the trading block? He's a good tight end.
I don't know.
Is there something I'm missing?
Is he or is this rumors? Because Miami's making a legitimate run right now. Like, they spent like how much money on Tyreek Hill for him to be there? Like,
yo, Asia, my condolences to you, man. Yo, you're definitely gonna condolences to you. I hope you're doing fine, bro. Definitely will be in mine. I'll tell you that. But I hope you're doing all right with that.
Yeah, we love you, Asia. Prayers
All
out
love
to
over
you.
here, man.
Sorry to hear that. He's not wrong though. About what? Oh, I am right. I am very right, Alex. And
He's talking about me, but go ahead with
no,
Mike
he's not
Gesicki.
talking about you.
Mike Gesicki.
Mike Gesicki, hell yeah. We love Bellinger. I take Mike Gesicki all
What
day.
is Mike Gesicki's contract though? Like
He's still let me see. Let's see. He might be on the last year of his deal. I think he was drafted in Saquon's draft, no? I don't even know how to spell Gesicki, so Mike G. Gesicki. Yeah, he's on the last year of his rookie deal. So you would have to re-sign him, and he's like one of the top tight ends right now. So I don't think we would trade for him. We just drafted Bellinger. We like him a lot, so I don't think they would. How about Deion Jones from Atlanta? That was a super chat, by the way, if you want to highlight that.
shout out to Danny Thomas.
Deion Jones
Thank you so much for
from
the $5 super chat.
Atlanta. He's a linebacker.
I don't think Atlanta is necessarily in a selling mood right now. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
They're not in a selling mood, but I don't think they're like buying into a playoff run. But
Either,
Deion,
but like
Deion Jones
I
is
just
all
don't see
right.
them training with anybody.
Deion Jones is all right. He's a fast linebacker. Is pretty much it. I mean, I don't think he's anything special. Obviously their defense.
Oh, let's go to Knicks one. Thank you.
Next one. What's their record now? 3-1?
And yeah, and Jalen Brunson, the guy everybody said we overpaid for, 27, 13, 7. And with a block and a steal. Yo, he's been doing really good for us this season.
Hey, maybe they saw something in him.
Really good.
They saw something in him, so that's cool.
What I could say is that the thing that people didn't see is that they forgot he played next to Luka Doncic, so Luka was going to dominate everything from assists to points as well. So, but let's wrap it up here. Alex says Brunson looked crazy, especially in overtime. I saw the Knicks home opener. I got a chance to see the Knicks home opener. I love the way that most people on that team look. Not to get too off topic, the Knicks should be a good team this year. Great playoff run. We'll see when we get there. But if we could do what we've been doing so far, which is spanking bad teams and keeping up with good teams, then we're gonna be like I'd say a 4th, 5th seed. And I'm very happy with that.
Is the fan base back on the trade Julius Randle train or
Julius is slowly funny, like Daniel slowly winning fans back. Julius is slowly winning.
No, but I feel like Julius Randle does that about 5 times per season. He wins them back, and then he has one bad game, and like get rid of him for anything that you can.
That's Knicks fans, bro. What you want me to say? But to get back and also to wrap up, because we're getting to 2 hours here. How do we wrap up this topic? I'm gonna let you wrap it up.
We don't need a receiver that can't catch the ball. And I feel like the Giants.
Oh my God. I feel like he was going to say something like, if the Giants feel like it's in the best rebuild interest to not trade for anybody, that's where we're going to go. But like, I'm just going to mute your mic for the remaining of the stream, bro. Anyway, guys, that's how I'm going to close it out. If the Giants feel that they, it's within the best interest of the rebuild to not trade for anybody at any position, then that's how they feel, and we'll see how far we go. But go ahead, KB. Off of that, you child.
I'm a little sleep deprived. Okay, so all in all, to wrap everything up, the Giants had a really good season up to this point and a good game against the Jags. We avoided it. That's something we didn't talk about either. We avoided the trap game.
Well, you could consider any of our next 3 games trap games because we're on a win streak. So
right, we are on a win streak and we're going away for these games. So, but it was really a trap game because Jacksonville was on their 3rd straight loss. We were on our 3rd straight win. So now we won 4 straight, and Chargers are coming off a good win as well. So, and then going into Seattle, this is gonna be a tough task. Listen, I unfortunately had them losing this game, but obviously I always hope that they prove me wrong. We'll see what happens. This team, if they find a way to win this game, will be 7-1 at this point. Playoffs are pretty much guaranteed. So, then we go into the bye, and then we may get a lot of players coming back after the bye because that's just what teams do. So, that's all I gotta say. But thank you all for joining in here. This was a fun one to say the least.
Thank you guys so much. It was a great show, and the fans. The audience, the chat, as usual, you guys make it amazing as well. Shout out to everybody. There are too many to name. And shout out to Tana as well for pulling up, showing support. I don't really have anything else to add. that'll be it for now. We're going to beat the Seahawks, contrary to KB's belief, on Sunday. And we'll see. The trade deadline is on Tuesday. I will say, Joe Shane, my boy, if you're looking to make some moves, Mr. Joe Douglas been showing you up and Mr. Howie Rosen been showing you up. Personally, I wouldn't let that slide. But we'll see where your priorities lay. That's it for now, guys. And we are out.